Okay, guys, welcome back to the Money Talk Show. We are going into part two of the sales cycle process. So the last time we spoke about prospecting, and we also spoke about discovery needs analysis. And you find out all of this after you book a meeting. Now, here's the thing: the better you get at sales, you'll be able to close the deal in one appointment. However, not every prospect you're going to be able to close in one appointment. It depends on so many factors. This is a multifactorial thing. And so you may need to book 2 appointments, and then some persons you may need 3 appointments. Some persons you may even need reinforcement from a credible source. It could be the person who you got the referral from. It could be your manager. It could be statistics or a proven track record which you have to present to your client. But we're going into part two of the sales cycle process, as I said. So after you booked the first meeting and you did your discovery needs analysis, you had a discussion with your clients. What we really need to get into now is the fact that we have now identified a willing prospect. The person was willing to sit down with you. The person was willing to have the discussion, so you could do that needs analysis to figure out what is the pain point, what's the problem that they're having, and how you can potentially solve it. And so now you are moving on to qualifying the prospect. Qualifying the prospect is so detailed. Like, if you're buying a house in Jamaica right now, right, you cannot get a mortgage, or if you're talking to a salesperson, and we did this in another episode of the Money Talk Show, you're talking to a real estate agent, they don't even hear you unless you have a pre-qualification letter from the bank. What that pre-qualification letter does is that it shows that the property for which you have an interest in, you can actually afford. And likewise, we have to qualify our clients to find out if the product and service for which we're trying to find a solution to their problem for, can this person afford it? Because if they can't afford it, it does not make any sense. We need to tailor the right solution to our client's problem. We need to have the right answer to heal our client's pain point, right? And ultimately make this a win-win situation for all. And it will not be if you're selling the client the wrong product, i.e. a product that they can't afford. You have to now find out what is the person's income. And I know that it's not an easy question. A lot of persons don't like the confrontation, really asking persons about what their income is. You know what I'm saying? A lot of persons have that fear about talking about money, or asking somebody how much money they earn, or asking somebody if they can really afford this product. But at the end of the day, you're a sales professional, so you be professional about it, right? So you have to find out if they can afford it, because if they can't, you're wasting your time. When we find out if the client can afford the product or not, we know if this person can be qualified. If they can't, they're out the window. And that is also why you need to have a particular client profile, which we spoke about in part one of the sales cycle process. Because based on the type of client profile that you have, they should be able to afford it. But it's multifactorial. They may have things going on in their life right now, like they may have debt. So maybe if they buy your product or service right now, it's not going to benefit them or you long term. So maybe they are qualified to buy, but it's not right now. Maybe you need to check them on later down the line. You need to check their income versus their expenses. So you'll know whether or not your product can fit in their budget. And everything we talk about on the Money Talk Show, it has to fit in the budget. If it don't fit in the budget, it's not a point for discussion, right? You have to also understand who are the key decision makers. You see, a lot of times we approach clients and we approach the husband, and the husband, we went through the meeting with the husband, and the husband is excited, and the husband is ready to invest. The husband is ready, to do right by his family by taking on the product and services, or the prospect is ready to buy that shiny new car. but are we really speaking to the key decision maker? Who is the key opinion leader? Who really holds the strings to the purse? Because yes, the husband is ready to go, but you really need to get the wife on board before any transaction happens. And so we need to be cognizant as salespersons. Are we speaking to the right person? Who is the gatekeeper? You see, I do pharmaceutical sales, and one of the things that we understand is that sometimes you may go into a pharmacy as a business place. We have two different angles that you could take it from. Sometimes it's the person who is the pharmacy owner, the business owner, is not a pharmacist, and he's insistent on doing the orders. Good. Sometimes you have the pharmacist who does the orders but is not the business owner, but is restricted by the business owner who is not a pharmacist, because the business owner is looking at a bottom line point of view and not looking on a needs analysis based on the type of patient profile that's coming into the pharmacy. So you see the disconnect there. Sometimes it's the technician who might be making the order and not the pharmacist. So the pharmacist is basically only counseling patients and dispensing drugs, but the real face of the pharmacy, the real people person, the real underground person is the technician. Sometimes it's the person who is at the door in the business. Maybe that's the store manager, and maybe the store manager has a significant say in who they want to do business with or not. And so even though you're actually through the door, what's more important is staying inside the building. And staying inside the building will ultimately be determined by, am I speaking to the right person? Am I speaking to the gatekeeper? Because it might be the store manager who doesn't like me or doesn't like how I treated them. So even though the technician is the person who does the order, the store manager controls the technician. You see what I'm saying? Even though the pharmacist is the one who is in there and they know and understand the landscape of drugs and dispensing and the patients, the pharmacy owner doesn't understand that, and he sets a strict budget, and my sales are contracted. So we need to qualify our prospects. We need to qualify those who we're selling to. That is going to be so important, and we need to know who are the key decision makers. We also need to qualify by knowing, am I selling at the right time? You see, because based on the season that the person may be in their life right now, is this the right time to actually sell them this product, or would they benefit more from that product because of where they are in their life right now? We need to qualify them. We need to qualify them so much. It is so important. But once we have established that there is a need for the product, once we have established that the person can actually afford the product, once we have established that this is the right product for the person, once we have established if we're speaking to the key decision maker, then and only then can we go in and get a commitment from the person, right? Now, a lot of sales agents miss commitment in the qualifying process. Remember, you are taking up your time every time you meet with a prospect, whether it's the first meeting you booked, which is a BAM, or a BAM fam, which is booking a meeting from another meeting. So you're in the second client prospect meeting. If you have gained no commitment from the prospect, you are in a bad place. A commitment from a potential or a willing prospect could be getting a deposit on the sale. It could be getting a signature on an application form. It could be getting a commitment to an order for the first of the month. It could be a commitment by getting a pre-qualification letter and going on a waiting list. You need some form of commitment from your prospect. If you don't get a commitment of any form from your prospect, it doesn't make sense you go into presentation mode. It doesn't make sense that you go into asking for the business. Asking for the business should be something that we do right throughout, but It's how we do it, in how we ask the probing and open-ended questions and how we qualify them. But without a solid commitment from a client, right, you don't need to go any further, because you would have reached third base in the sales cycle, but you would not be able to close. So you have your part to play. Prospect, your discovery needs analysis, pre-qualifying and qualifying the prospects. But their part now is to show some level of commitment by signing documents, by dropping a deposit, by getting a pre-qualification letter, by committing to a first of the month order, something, going on a waiting list, some form of commitment, putting forward the IDs to go on the system before you continue into your sales presentation. Now, if you do get the commitment from them, you put forward your proposal, which is really taking them through a compelling presentation. Now, presentation styles vary, presentation styles are different. Everybody is going to do their thing how they feel most comfortable. Some persons use PowerPoint. Some persons might have a napkin plan where you sit down in a restaurant or cafe and you scribble some stuff. You scribble the plan of how the products and services will benefit them on a napkin or a piece of paper. Some persons close a business deal by just having a simple proposition conversation over a meal. And a lot of big deals are done over a meal. It's done over some sort of coffee. It might be even done over playing a game of domino, or it might even be done at a casino. Wherever it is, you have to know now what's the best way you're going to present after you've gained the commitment from your prospect, and you have to do it in such a way that they're comfortable, right? So that at the end of the day, you sign and seal, you lock off, and the final thing that you do is actually make your collection or deliver the goods. Delivery of the goods is so important. After you have gone through your sales cycle process, remember to deliver on your promise, because a good name is rather to be chosen than great riches. Guys, I hope you found this very informative, this part 2 of the sales cycle process. If you have your questions, drop them in the comments. I want to hear from you, my sales people. Ask your questions. This segment is for you. Remember to share with other persons who you think will benefit from this information or this training. Remember to like, remember to subscribe, drop your comments. I'm here for you. Over and out from your favorite financial advisor on this episode of the Money Talks Show.